Imagine walking onto a film set as one of the most powerful A-listers in Hollywood, only to find out 3 years later that a federal judge has ruled you aren't actually an employee with the right to sue for workplace harassment. This isn't just a legal setback, it is a total structural collapse of a narrative that has dominated the headlines for over a year. The It Ends With Us saga just hit its most brutal plot twist yet, and for Blake Lively, the legal ground she was standing on didn't just crack, it vanished. The factual reality of what happened in that Manhattan courtroom yesterday is a massive blow to Lively's legal strategy. Judge Louis Lyman issued a staggering 152-page ruling that essentially gutted her lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. Out of the 13 claims she filed, 10 were dismissed entirely. We're talking about the heavy hitters: sexual harassment, defamation, and conspiracy. The judge didn't just toss these out on a whim. He ruled that because Lively was technically an independent contractor, she couldn't claim the specific workplace protections she was seeking. He even went so far as to say that some of the behavior she described as harassment, like a forehead kiss or a nuzzle during a dance, fell within the bounds of creative experimentation between two actors in a romantic drama. But the real ouch moment in the last 72 hours wasn't just the judge's ruling, it was the unsealing of the evidence. For the first time, we're seeing the behind-the-scenes friction in black and white. In one unsealed text message to Taylor Swift, Blake referred to her director as a doofus and a clown. It's a far cry from the polished, Lily Bloom aesthetic she's cultivated. While the world was watching her promote hair care and floral arrangements, she was reportedly in a digital war room with some of the most powerful people in the industry, trying to navigate a production that had clearly turned toxic long before the cameras stopped rolling. The public reaction to this has been a total reversal of the early 2024 energy. If you remember, when the rumors first leaked, Justin Baldoni was the one in the hot seat. The internet was convinced he was the villain of the story. But as these legal documents have surfaced, the social media debate has shifted toward the Lively Reynolds machine. Viral clips comparing Blake's fun press tour interviews to the heavy themes of domestic violence in the movie are being used as evidence that she was out of touch with the project. Now, with 10 of her claims dismissed, the Justice for Justin hashtag is seeing a massive resurgence. People are pointing to the judge's words about minor grievances and wondering if this entire legal battle was less about safety and more about a power struggle for creative control. This situation escalated to a federal level because in 2026, reputation is the only currency that matters in Hollywood. This wasn't just a dispute over a movie, it was a battle for the moral high ground. By filing such serious claims, Lively wasn't just seeking damages, she was seeking a permanent mark on Baldoni's record. But as the judge noted, when you use exaggerated charges to settle a professional score, you risk destroying your own credibility in the process. It says everything about our current influencer and A-list culture that even a best-selling success story can be completely overshadowed by the mess happening in the legal filings. The analysis of why this case is falling apart comes down to the independent contractor status. It's a sobering reality check for stars who want the perks of being a producer, the power, the profit-sharing, the creative input, without realizing it strips away the very employee protections they might need later. Blake Lively's reputation as the Golden Girl of Hollywood is currently under its greatest stress test. Her legal team is trying to save face by saying the case was always about retaliation, but everyone can see the goalposts being moved in real time. If you start a fight with 13 weapons and 10 of them are taken away by the referee, you aren't winning, you're surviving. What's actually confirmed versus what is just an online theory? It is a confirmed fact that the judge dismissed the harassment claims. It is a confirmed fact that a trial is still set for May 18th regarding the smear campaign and retaliation allegations. The theory, however, is that this ruling will lead to an immediate settlement. The industry is currently buzzing with the idea that neither side wants these A-list text chains to keep leaking. Seeing Taylor Swift or Ryan Reynolds' private communications dragged into a public record is a PR nightmare that no amount of box office success can fix. The pacing of this legal drama has been exhausting. It moved from a silent feud on a red carpet to a $400 million legal war, and now to a significantly narrowed case that looks more like a contract dispute than a civil rights battle. The slower, analytical tone of a judge's ruling highlights the difference between internet outrage and legal evidence. You can win a TikTok debate with a clever edit, but you can't win a federal lawsuit with a vibe. This leaves us with a bigger industry question that goes far beyond it ends with us. If a federal judge rules that an actor's improvisation of a kiss or a touch is protected creative space, where does that leave the intimacy coordinator movement? This ruling could potentially set back years of progress in on-set safety by giving directors a get-out-of-jail-free card under the guise of artistic experimentation. It's a massive tension that the industry will have to resolve long after this specific trial is over. The upcoming response possibility from Lively's camp is the only thing left to watch for before the May trial. Will she double down and testify, potentially exposing even more private communications to the public record? Or will this destruction of her case lead to a quiet, behind-the-scenes deal to make the whole thing go away? The future impact of this ruling has already redefined the smear campaign discourse. In 2026, it turns out that the people and the playbook behind the digital attacks aren't just the publicists, they're the celebrities themselves, caught in a loop of their own making. For now, the Lively case is on life support, and the It Ends With Us legacy is officially ending in a courtroom, not a cinema.